Hello, and welcome to tonight's matchup between the Immanuel Lancers and the Alma Pepin Eagles. Taking the tip will be number 24, Thompson, and number 31, Westberg. Tip won by the Lancers, tipped into the hands of Miller. And he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Thompson. He'll drive around, and going to pass out to Miller. Drives in, fakes, and fakes again. Going to pass over to Thompson. Pass over to Bauer, tipped out of bounds. Eagle ball. Liam will take it up the floor. Pass down low, into the hands of Radzat. Passed out to Trenton. Over to Post. Over to Boxel. Over to Westberg. He'll drive in. Put up a floater. Sorry, fade away. And tips out. Rebounded by Thompson. Thompson drives around. Going to pass over to Miller. Scanning. Going to pass over to Leduc. Pass over to Miller. Tipped. And picked up by Post. He'll drive in. Put it up. Too hard off the glass. Rebounded by Thompson. Thompson up the floor. Going to pass over to Bauer. Back up top to Thompson. Down low to Leduc. Pass out to Thompson. Pass all the way out to Bauer. Over to Falkenberg. All the way back over to Leduc. He'll fake, pass out to Thompson. Thompson to three. And gonna bounce out. Rebounded by Ashton. Trent's got in the corner. Gonna pass back out to Ashton. Down low to Westberg. Up top to Ashton. Gets a screen. And going to pass over to Post. Over to Westberg. Hand off to Trenton. Tipped away and picked up by Miller. Pass over to Thompson. And Thompson will take up the floor. Pass over to Bauer. Back up top to Thompson. Over to Miller. Fakes. Gets stuck. Gonna pass all the way over to Bauer. Too far out of bounds. Pass into Post, and he will take it up the floor. Sends it over to Ashton. Around, and in the hands of Boxel. Pass over, tipped and stolen away by Thompson. He's got a one-on-one with Boxel. Fakes, puts it up, and he's got it off the glass. Lancers leading by 2. Pass over to Westberg. Up top to Boxel. He'll drive in, put up a jumper, gets blocked. Gets it back, gonna pass out to Post. Sorry, Trenton. Out to Ashton. All the way over to Boxel. Back up top to Post. Over to Trenton. Down low to Boxel. Tipped and picked up by Falkenberg. Sends it behind. Tipped and into the hands of Boxel. Pass over to Westberg. Gets tipped. Picked up by Thompson. Pass over to Bauer. Up top to Thompson. Back over to Bauer. Fakes. And going to pass over to Miller. Over to Bauer. Down low to Duke. Pass tipped. Tipped again. And out of bounds off the Eagles. Thompson will pass it in from the corner. Sends into Falkenberg. Fakes. Put up the jumper. And going to bounce out. Tipped around and into the hands of Boxel. Sorry, Westberg. Pass over to Post. And he'll send it over to Boxel down low to Ashton. He'll drive in. Gets stuck. Gonna pass out to Boxall. Over to post. Over to Trenton. Back up top to Trenton. Sorry, post. All the way back over to Trenton. Over to post. He'll drive in. Gets stuck and stripped. And Thompson takes up the floor. Pass over to Bauer. Over to Miller. Gets stripped. And out of bounds off the Eagles. Miller will pass it in. And picked off. Passed up to Trenton. And rims around and in. Ties up the game at 2 apiece. Thompson up top. Sends it over to Bauer. Over to Thompson. Over to Miller. Miller out to Thompson. Over to Miller. Over to Thompson. Down low to Falkenberg. Pass tipped. Tipped around. Falkenberg gets it back. And jump ball, Eagle ball. And a timeout. 2-2, game tied with 10:23 left in the first half. Some pressed by the Lancers. Number 33, Boxall will pass it in. To Trenton. Over to Post. Like over to Trenton. He'll send it high up the floor to Ashton. Over to Westberg, too high, out of bounds. Thompson will pass it in to Miller. He'll pass back to Thompson, and Thompson will take it up the floor. Pass over to Cornish. He fakes, gonna pass over to Thompson, over the corner to Miller. Up top to Thompson. Fakes, and gonna pass over to Cornish. They'll drive in. Make a move, gets blocked from behind. Picked up by Leduc. He puts it up, tipped off, tipped around, and in the hands of Post. And he travels. Miller will pass it in to Thompson. Makes a move. Gonna try to drive in. Gets trapped. And gonna pass out to Cornish. All over to Miller. Too high. Tipped. He gets it back. Sends it over to Thompson. Puts up a 3. And he's got it. Lancers leading by 3, 5-2. 9:18 left. Pass over to Trenton. Back up top to post. He'll drive around. And going to pass back over to Trenton. Down low, tipped. And picked up by Boxall. Pass over to Ashton, back over to Boxall. Going to pass over to Ashton. Puts up a jumper. And tips out. Rebounded by Post. He'll put it up. And he's got it off the glass. Thompson will pass it in to Miller. He'll pass back to Thompson, and Thompson will take it up the floor. Pass over to Cornish in the corner to Leduc. Tipped and picked up by Boxall. Pass over to Post. He'll pass over to Ashton. Down low to Boxall. Over to Westberg. Pass out to Boxall. He'll drive in. Puts it up. And too hard off the glass. Rebounded by Falkenberg. And Westberg. That'll be a jump ball. And that'll go with the Lancers. Keeney enters for Miller. And a full timeout by the Lancers. 8:15 left. 5-4. 1 point lead for the Lancers. Thompson up top. Gonna pass over to Keeney. Sends it all over to Leduc. Down low to Falkenberg. Out to Cornish. And Cornish has got it off the glass. Lancers leading by 3, 7-4. Pass over to Boxall. He'll try to drive it up the floor. Gonna pass down low to Westberg. Picked off by Keeney. Pass over to Thompson, and he will take it up the floor. Over to Keeney. Corner to Leduc. Down low to Falkenberg, and he is fouled. Brecken will enter for Westberg. And Keeney will pass it in down low. Over to Leduc. Pass on to Falkenberg. He'll back him down. Puts it up. Too hard. Rebounded by Cornish. Out to Keeney. He'll fake. Drive around. And pass out to Thompson. Thompson drives in. And pass over to Leduc. He fakes. Gets stuck. Gonna pass it all over to Keeney. Keeney a jumper. Too far. Rebounded by Falkenberg. Sent out to Cornish. Over to Keeney. Keeney fakes. Gonna try to drive in. Gets stuck. Gonna pass out to Thompson. Thompson fakes. He's gonna drive in. Gonna cut back out. Pass it all to Cornish. Cornish loses it. And in the hands of Ashton. Boxall's got it. Trying to push the floor. Gonna pass over to Trenton. Down low to Ashton. Puts it up. Tips off the glass. Rebounded by Thompson. And he will take it up the floor. Gonna fake and pass over to Keeney. Keeney drives around. Gonna pass over to Leduc. Down low to Falkenberg. Puts it up. And he's got it off the glass. Lancers leading by 5, 9-4 with 6:43 left. Lancers more pressed. Gonna pass over to Boxall. Over to Post. Sorry, Trenton. Up top to Post. Post got a lane. Gonna pass it all the way down. And we're picked off by Thompson. And he'll take it back up the floor for the Lancers. Fakes. Gonna pass over to Keeney. Keeney drives around. Drives back in. And gonna pass over to Thompson. Over to Leduc. Fakes. Gonna pass over to Thompson. Tipped and stolen away by Post. Over to Bexon. Over to post. Way down low to Ashton. Out to Trenton. Sorry, post. He'll drive in. Tips out. Rebounded by Bexton. Tipped out again. Rebounded by Trenton. Sent over to post. Sorry, Trenton. Post on over to Trenton. Back over to post. He'll drive in. Gonna pass out to Bexel. Over to Trenton. Out to Boxel. Over to Bexon. And pass too far. Out of bounds. Lancer ball. Westberg re-enters, and Kegel enters as well. And Bauer will enter for Falkenberg. And Miller for Thompson. Pass into Keeney, and he will take it up the floor. Sends it over to Bauer. Up top to Keeney. He'll drive around and pass over to Miller. Miller scanning, gonna pass over to Cornish. Up top to Miller. Miller drives around, drives in. Pass down low to Bauer. He'll drive in, fakes, gets stuck, gonna pass over to Keeney. Keeney drives in. Gonna pass over to Bauer and picked off. And hand off to post. And he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Boxel. Back over to post. Tipped out. Picked off by Cornish. He's got a one-on-one. Puts it up and he is fouled. And Cornish will shoot two. A chance to extend the lead to 7. Cornish's shot will bounce out. Falkenberg and Thompson enter for Keeney and Leduc. And Cornish will shoot his second. Bounces out, tipped, tipped again, and rebounded by Cornish himself. And he gets stripped. Picked up by Bexel. Jump ball by Falkenberg, and that'll remain with the Eagles. Boxel will pass it in to post. Back over to Boxel. He'll try to push the floor. Gonna pass over to Bexon. Gets blocked by Bauer. Picked up by Thompson. And he'll drive around. Takes up the floor. Pass over to Cornish. Over to Thompson. Tipped. And out of bounds off the Eagles. Pass into Cornish, and he will take it off the floor. Over to Miller. Gets blocked, and that'll remain with the Eagles. Pass into Kegel. Back over to Trenton. Up top to Bexham, and he'll drive in and gets the layup. Thompson off the floor. Lead only 3. Gonna pass over to Miller. Down low to Falkenberg. Backs him down, makes a move, puts it up. Too hard off the glass, rebounded by Bauer. Picked up by Falkenberg, gets blocked from behind. And a pass over to post. Over to Kegel. Gets stripped. Cornish has got it. He's got a one-on-one with Kegel. Stops, makes a move, puts it up! And gonna bounce out. Rebounded by Thompson. He's gonna pass out to Cornish, stolen away by Bexon. Pass tipped. And picked up by Kegel. Kegel up the floor. Gonna drive around. And pass out to Bexon. He'll drive in. Gets stuck. Gonna pass out to Westberg. Leduc enters for Cornish. And Thompson will pass it into Miller. Back over to Thompson, and Thompson will take it up the floor. Get stuck, get a pass over to Miller. Miller's going to drive around and pass over to Thompson. Going to pass over to Miller. He'll drive in, going to pass over to Thompson. Over to Bauer. He'll drive around and drops it out of bounds. Eagle ball. Keeney enters for Bauer. And Bexham exits as Ashton enters. Trenton loses it for a second, gets it back, tips around again, and out of bounds off Trenton. Thompson going to pass over to Keeney. He'll drive around and pass over to Leduc. Out to Thompson, tipped out of bounds off Trenton. Pass into Keeney. He'll cut in, cut out, and pass over to Thompson. Fakes, gonna pass over to Keeney. Over to Miller. Gets stuck in the corner. Gonna pass out to Thompson. Takes a three. This will get a bounce out. And rebounded by Leduc. He's gonna put it up. Gets blocked, tipped around, rebounded by Miller, tipped out of bounds. Off Miller. Eagle ball. Boxall. Pass into Trenton. Sorry, post. He'll drive around. Gets tipped. Scanning. Gonna pass on the floor. Tipped around and picked up by Leduc. Down low to Thompson. Puts it on the reverse layup. Tipped out. Rebounded by Fogelberg. He puts it up. That's tipped out. And in the hands of Boxall. Pass on the post. Gets stuck. Gonna pass it all the way over to Regal. Kegel. Trenton up top. Gonna pass over to Boxall. He'll drive around. Pass it over to Ashton. Slips. Puts it up. And rebounded by Falkenberg. Too hard. And Thompson up the floor. 1:20 left. Still a 3-point lead for the Lancers. Over to Keeney. Gonna pass over to Thompson. Over to Keeney. Over to Miller. Miller gonna pass it all the way over to Leduc. Puts up a jumper. And gonna bounce out. Rebounded and sent over to Trenton. Under a minute left. He's gonna drive around. And pass over to Kegel. Gets a screen, gonna drive back around. Drives all the way in. Gets stuck, gets stripped. Thompson. He's got speed, he's all alone. Kegel comes in hard, and a foul. Thompson off the line, shooting 2, a chance to extend the lead to 5. Thompson's first will bounce around and out. And his second. Will fall. Cuts the lead down to 4. Kegel drives around. Gonna drive in and it's fouled. Nope, carry. 4-point lead for the Lancers. 10-6 with 40.7 seconds left. Keeney passing it in from the high corner. Pass into Miller. Over to Keeney. He'll drive around and pass over to Thompson. Over to Keeney. Over to Miller. Miller stuck in the corner again. And jump ball that'll remain with the Lancers. 25.2 seconds left. Keeney gonna pass it in to Falkenberg. Gonna pass over to Miller. Lower down low to Thompson. Tipped out and rebounded by Leduc. Pass over to Thompson. 15 seconds left. He'll drive around. 10 seconds left. Still trying to find an angle. 9 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Pass over to Thompson. 5 seconds left. Puts up a 3. Bounces out. Rebounded. And that'll end the half. 10-6, a 4-point lead for the Lancers at the half. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. Pass in the post, he'll pass back to Trenton, and Trenton will take it up the floor. Gonna pass over to Boxel. He'll drive around, all the way in, gonna pass down low, tipped out, and out of bounds off Falkenberg, Eagle ball. Pass into post. He'll pass back over to Trenton. Back over to post. He'll drive around and pass over to Trenton. Gets a screen, gonna try to drive in. Cuts out, and gonna pass over to Boxel. Drives around. Pass out to Trenton. Sorry, post. And he travels. Miller will pass it into Radical, and Radical will take it up the floor. Pass over to Cornish. Over to Radical. Down low to Falkenberg. Out to Leduc. Leduc fakes. Gonna pass back down low to Falkenberg. He'll fake again, and then gonna pass out to Cornish. Over to Miller. He'll drive around. Get stuck, scanning, and then pass over to Radical. All the way over to Cornish. He'll drive in. Pass on to Falkenberg, tipped out, tipped around, and picked up by Leduc. Leduc puts it up. He's fouled, can't get to the fall. And he will go to the line and shoot 2. Leduc's first will bounce out. And his second will fall. More press by the Lancers. Pass with the floor to Boxel. He'll try to drive in. Gonna pass out to Trenton. Back out to Boxel. Gets the screen. Gonna drive in. And pass out to post. He'll drive around. Get the screen. Gonna pass over to Boxel. Over to post. Back out to Boxel. He'll drive in. Loses it. He'll get it back. Pass tipped. And picked up by Trenton. Pass over to Boxel. Gets the screen. Gonna drive around. And pass down low to Westberg. Blocked from behind by Falkenberg. What a foul. And Westberg will make his first. And his second will fall as well. Cuts the lead down to 3, 11-8. Radical up the floor. Gonna pass all the way over to Miller, tipped out of bounds. Eagle ball. Pressed by the Lancers. Boxel will pass it in. Gets it over to post, back over to Boxel. Over to Trenton. Pass deflected. And picked up by Boxel. And he travels. Pass over to Radical. Gonna pass over to Cornish. Drives around and gonna pass over to Radical. He'll send it over to Miller. Gets stuck. Gonna drive around. Fake and pass out to Radical. Over to Falkenberg. Over to Leduc. Jumper gets blocked. Falkenberg gets it back and gets it off the glass. Pass out the floor to Boxel. Down low to Westberg. He'll put it up. And he's got it off the glass. Cuts the lead back down to 3. And Bauer will enter for Leduc. And Falkenberg will pass it into Radical, and Radical will take it up the floor. Pass over to Miller. He'll drive around, all the way around, and send it over to Cornish. Puts up a jumper. Tips out. Rebounded by Westberg, and a jump ball. Radical pass it in to Cornish. He'll fake and pass over to Radical. All the way over to Miller. Fake's going to send it down low to Cornish. Pass blocked and picked off. Send out to Trenton. Sorry, post. Over to Trenton. He'll drive around. And pass out to Westberg. Puts it up and is fouled. And Westberg will shoot 2. His first will fall. Keating enters for Cornish. And his second will bounce out. Tipped. And out of bounds off Bauer. Trenton will pass it in down low. Sends it up high and picked up by Boxall. Pass over to Trenton. Up top to post. Over to Boxall. Gets a screen. Gonna drive around. And it's fouled. Leduc will enter for Falkenberg. And Trenton will pass it in down low. Gets it into post. Back over to Trenton. Up top to post. He'll drive around. Sends a high pass over to Boxall. He'll drive in. All the way in. Puts it up. And he's got it off the glass. Game now tied at 13. Pass over to Miller. Cuts in and gonna pass over to Keeney. Over to Bauer. Gonna drive in. Pass out to Miller. He'll fake. Gonna drive in. Pass out to Radical. Radical a 3. And he's got it! Lancers now leading by 3, 16-13. Boxall up the floor. Sends it all the way down low. And Westberg's got it off the glass. Lancers now leading only by 1. Keeney pass on to Radical, and Radical will take it up the floor. And a timeout by the Lancers. 17-15, 2-point lead for the Lancers with 11:33 left. Miller will pass it in to Radical, and he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Cornish. Pass over to Bauer. Gets stuck. Gonna pass down low and picked off. Pass over to Post. Sends it over to Boxall. Down low to Westberg. Puts it up, and he's got it off the glass again. 1-point lead for the Eagles, 17-16. Radical up top. Drives around. Sends it over to Cornish. He'll drive in and pass over to Bauer. Up top to Radical. Gonna pass it all the way over to Miller. Over to Cornish. He'll drive in, cut out, and pass over to Radical. Over to Bauer. He'll drive in, and he travels. Pass in the post, and he will take it up the floor. No press by the Lancers. Pass over to Trenton. Back over to post. Tipped, and nearly stolen away by Bauer. He'll pass down low. And Westberg again off the glass. Eagles now leading by 3, 19-16. Radical up the floor. Pass over to Cornish. Back over to Radical. He'll drive in, and pass over to Cornish. Drives around. Gets stuck, gonna hand it off to Radical. All the way over to Miller. Miller fakes, gonna drive in. Loses it. Ball on the floor. Picked up by Boxall, pass over to post. He's got it up top, gonna drive around. And pass it all the way over to Trenton. Down low to Westberg. Out to Trenton. Back over to Westberg. All the way over to post. Over to Trenton. Over to post. Down low to Westberg. And loses it. Picked up by Miller. And Miller up the floor. Cuts out. And going to pass over to Radical. Over to Cornish. Over to Bauer. Bauer all the way out to Radical. Drives in. Puts it up. Loses it. And it's picked up by Post. And he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Trenton. All the way back over to Post. Nearly stolen away by Cornish. Gonna pass back over to Westberg. Down low. And rims out. Boxall shot. And a jump ball. They'll stay with the Eagles. Keeney enters for the Lancers for Cornish. And number 12, Evers, and number 11, Kegel enter for the Eagles. And Boxall will pass it in down low. And following the Eagles. Keeney will pass it in to Radical. And he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Miller. Stuck. Gonna pass it all the way over to Bauer. He fakes, drives in, puts up a jumper. And he's got it off the glass. Lancers cut the lead down to 1 with 9 minutes left. Pass over to Post, and he will take it up the floor. Off the foot of Radical. Falkenberg enters for Leduc. And the pass into Kegel. And he'll take it up the floor. Drives around, gets trapped. Gonna pass it out to Post. Back over to Kegel. Down low to Evers. Pass tipped. And nearly stolen away. Picked up by Post. Pass over to Westberg. Air balls. Rebounded by Kegel. He'll cut out. Makes a move. Gonna pass down low to Evers. He'll put it up. He is fouled. No shot. Brecken. And Trenton will re-enter. And Boxall will pass it in down low to Trenton. He'll pass out to Kegel. Over to Trenton. Down low to Boxall, tipped out. Picked up by Kegel, pass over, and picked off by Bauer. He'll pass over to Miller. And Miller will take up the floor. He'll drive around and pass over to Radical. Over to Miller. Over to Keeney. He'll drive around, gonna pass over to Radical. Over to Bauer. Bauer in the corner, gonna pass on top to Radical. All over to Miller. Fakes. Pass over to Falkenberg, tipped out, and rebounded by Bexton. Pass up to Trenton. Down low to Brexton. Pass tipped, picked up by Kegel. Pass over to Trenton. Over to Kegel, pass tipped, tipped around. Keeney tipped it out, and out of bounds off the Eagles. Cornish went to for Miller. And Westberg and Post will enter. Pass on to Radical, and he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Keeney. He'll drive in. Pass over to Bauer. Down low to Falkenberg, tipped out. Picked up by the Eagles. Pass over to Trenton. He'll drive in. Gets stuck in the corner. Gonna pass out to Trenton. Sorry, post. Down low, picked up by Bauer, but tipped out of bounds off his foot. Bauer exits, Leduc enters. And Trenton will pass it in down low. To Westberg. Pass out, tipped, and stolen away by Falkenberg. He's got Radical up the floor, gets it to him. Radical fakes, stops, gonna drive around, pass over to Falkenberg. He puts it up. And picked off by Beckett. Drives in, and Trenton's shot just off. Rebounded by Jesse Cornish. Radical up top. Pass over to Cornish. Over to Keeney. He'll drive in. Gets stripped. Picked up by Leduc. He'll drive around. Put up a jumper. And tipped out. Tipped around. Rebounded by Leduc. Pass out to Radical. Radical over to Cornish. Cornish fakes. Gonna drive in. All the way in. Gonna pass out to Keeney. Keeney a three. Too far. Rebounded by Falkenberg. And he is fouled. Radical pass it in now low. Boxel will enter for Giegel. And Keeney will pass it in to Radical. Down low, Leduc. Out to Radical. He puts it up. And it's blocked from behind. Rebounded by Radical. And jump ball that'll stay with the Lancers. Keeney will pass it in down low to Falkenberg. Puts up a jumper and bounces out. Rebounded and sent over to post. Over to Trenton. Down low, nearly stolen away. Picked up by Boxel. Over to Westberg, tipped around. Bexton's got it off the glass. Lancers now trailing by 3 with 5:44 left. Radical over to Cornish. Down low to Falkenberg. Puts it up. And tips around and in. Lancers back out to 1. Trenton up top. Pass over to Bexton. All the way over to post. Over to Trenton. Over to Bexton. He'll fake. Drive in. Got a lane. Gonna put it up. And gonna pass out. And Westberg's got it off the glass again. 3-point lead once again for the Eagles. Radical up the floor. Pass over to Cornish. Gonna drive around. Pass low to Radical. Over to Leduc. Puts it up. And he's got it. Lead back down to 1. Pass over to Trenton. Sorry, post. He'll pass over to Trenton. Back over to post. Down low to Westberg. All the way over to post. Over to Bexton. Up to Boxel. And tipped out, rebounded by Radical. 4:30 left. Lancers a chance for the lead here. Pass over to Keeney. Keeney's going to drive in, cut out. And pass over to Radical. Over to Cornish. Cornish a jumper. Too far. Rebounded by Falkenberg. Gets stripped down low. And jump ball, that'll go with the Eagles. Miller and Bauer will enter for Cornish and Keeney, and Lancers timeout. Pass into post, and he will take it up the floor. Over to Trenton. Back over to post. Over to Beckon. And pass to no one, out of bounds. Lancer ball. 4:10 left. Pass into Radical. And he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Miller. Gonna drive around, cut out. And sends it over to Leduc. Leduc drives around. Loses it. He'll get it back. Pass over to Falkenberg. Tipped out. Tipped out again. Picked up by Radical. Over to Bauer. He'll drive in. Cut out. Gets stuck in the corner. Pass over to Falkenberg. Off his foot and out of bounds. Eagle ball. 3:43 left. Eagle ball. 23-22. 1 point lead for the Eagles. Pass over to Westberg. He'll drive in. Pass out to Boxell. He puts it up, gets blocked from behind, but fouled. And he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Boxell's first. Will bounce out. Cornish enters for Bauer. And Boxell will shoot his second. Bounces out, rebounded by Leduc. Pass over to Radical. Pass over to Miller. Gets stuck, gonna try to drive in. All the way in. Gets stuck. Fakes, gonna pass out to Radical. Pass over to Falkenberg. Tries to back him down. Gets stuck. Puts it up. And tips out. Rebounded by Radical. Out of bounds off Radical. Trenton up top. Going to pass down low to Evers. Over to Boxell. Over to post. Back up top to Trenton. Double trapped. Pass over to Trenton. Sorry, post. And he is fouled. Post will pass it in down low. High to Westberg. He'll drive in. Puts it up. Tips out. Rebounded by Evers. He puts it up. Tipped out. Rebounded by Falkenberg. He gets stuck and a pass over to Radical. Radical up the floor. 2:40 left and a timeout by the Lancers. 23-22, 1 point lead for the Eagles, 2:37 left. Lancers trailing by 1, 23-22 with 2:37 left. Lancers ball in the corner. Miller will pass it in. To Radical. And he will take it up the floor. Pass over to Cornish. Over to Radical. Over to Miller. Miller drives around, gonna drive in. Loses it, gets it back, and gonna pass it to Radical. Pass tipped. Radical can't get it back. And post loses it out of bounds. Miller passes to Radical, and he'll take it back up the floor again. 2:20 left. Pass over to Miller. Gets stuck. Gonna drive around, cut out. And pass over to Falkenberg. He'll drive in. Fakes. Pass over to Duke. Puts it up. And tips out. And rebounded by Falkenberg. He'll drive in. All the way in. The reverse layup. He's got it! Falkenberg, the reverse layup. Lancers leading by 1. Post up top. Gonna send it over to Westberg. Back over to post. Stuck in the corner. Gonna pass over to Trenton. All the way over. Pass tipped. And stolen away by Miller. He's stuck in the corner. Gonna pass up to Radical. And Radical's gonna cut out. Pass over to Cornish. Cornish drives in. A jumper. Air balls. Rebounded by Evers, and he is fouled. Falkenberg's 5th. And Bauer will enter for him. And Evers will shoot a 1-and-1. His first could be his only. It's up. And gonna bounce out. Rebounded by Boxell. He'll put it back up. Too short. Tipped out. Tipped around. And picked up by Miller. Stuck in the corner. Got 3 guys out of it. He is fouled. Brecken will enter for Evers. And Miller will pass it to Radical. 1-point lead for the Lancers, 1:21 left. Radical closely guarded as he crosses the line. Gonna drive around and pass over to Cornish. Cornish drives in, puts it up. Too hard off the glass, tipped around, and in the hands of Brecken. Pass over to Post. Over to Trenton. Minute left. Gonna pass it to Brecken. Out to Trenton. Over to Post. Over to Westberg. He'll drive in. And he stepped out of bounds. Lancer ball. 52 seconds left. Lancers leading by 1. And lots of press by the Eagles. And a timeout by the Lancers. 24-23, 1-point lead for the Lancers. 52.2 seconds left. Miller will pass it in down low. Lancers 1-point lead. Eagles lots of press. 52.2 seconds left. Pass into Cornish. Tipped out of bounds. And Eagle ball. 50.6 seconds left. Trenton will pass it in from the corner. Low corner. Gets it into Westberg. Hand off to Post. Back over to Trenton. Down low to Westberg. He'll put it up, and he's got it off the glass. Eagles leading by 1, 25-24. More press by the Eagles. Pass it to Radical. Up the floor to Miller. Miller gonna push it. Cuts out. Drives around. And gonna pass over to Bauer. Bauer puts up, gets blocked. Tipped around and rebounded by Westberg. Pass out. High up the floor. Sends it down low. And picked up by Trenton. 19 seconds left. Pass out to Boxell. And a timeout by the Eagles. 25-24, 1-point lead for the Eagles now with 17.7 seconds left. Eagle ball. Trenton will pass it in down low. Gets it into Post. Post drives around. Gonna pass over to Voxel. And he is fouled. And he will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. His first could be his only. Will fall. Sends the lead to 2. And it's his second. Will bounce out. Tipped around. And tipped out of bounds. Eagle ball. Trent will pass it in to Boxel. Out to Post. Over to Bexon. Down low. Tipped out. And he is fouled. And no time left. 26-24, 2-point lead for 2-point win for the Eagles at the JV level. CT lost by about 11. Varsity will be starting in about 20 minutes. Street will be starting in about 2 for band. Hope you enjoyed the game and have a great night.